I is the imaginary unit. It's the square root of -1. Go and look it up. It's a world of wonder. It's merely a way of describing a force acting orthogonally to another force. So you've got a force in one direction called plus and a force in another direction called minus. But in this place, they're not opposite each other. One goes straight up and one goes this way. So if there's a wave happening in this direction, that's plus. If there's a wave happening in this direction, that's called a minus wave. And you can't use them as plus and minus in the normal way, so you call it I, and it's the imaginary unit. The imaginary unit exists. It's a real thing. It's called the meter-4 in the past, and it's the bending moment that we've created in the moment that we used to have. We create it there, and that creates the energy for the future, which is why the positive moment is so important. Because if you bring the positive moment from yourself, from your own life, from your own behavior, from your own morality, from your own approach to life and approach to death, then you've created a positive moment in that I is trying to be more positive than it would naturally be, and that reflects into the energy that goes to the future, and then we see that and we receive it in the present. Repeat. 6 times 10 to the minus 34 seconds. Lots of them. Now, the Fibonacci sequence always looked ugly to me at the beginning. 0, 1, 1. As the beginning of the Fibonacci, if you try to draw it, it just suddenly drops. And it's nothing, it's rubbish. And when you think about how beautiful the Fibonacci is, based entirely on a golden ratio, pi and a golden ratio, it's all there, and yet you've got this really clumsy beginning. So, I think it starts like this. Here come the imaginary units down this side of the graph. How am I looking at this from you? This is my negative side. It's coming down, and here's my positive side. Now again, I'm going to go 3i, 2i, 1i. 3, 2 goes to 1. Then I've got 2 and 1, and then I'm going to go to 1, because 2 minus 1 is 1. Now that's 1i. If I look at it from the negative side, from where it's come from, I can see it's a -1. It's I1. If I stand on the other side in the future and look back at what I just created, that one, I just see a 1. I see a value that's different to where I am. Does that make sense? So you're jumping from, it's just orthogonal view, that you can look at it. If you're standing on the orthogonal wave, you look back at the one you created, you can see the I1. You look back from the other side, and you see it's just a 1. And because you're now perpendicular, you've gone from orthogonal to perpendicular in your motion, in your imaginations, placing yourself there to look at the numbers. And that the 0 is the 0 point energy is just inserted in there. You open it out at that 1, and you put one of Lewe's props there, yeah, and you split it into 6, and you analyze it using Lewe, and you come up with the wave pattern of the yin yang being created, and you see the Pascal unit being meter to the minus cubed over a second squared, combining the Newton and the meter squared, getting rid of that bloody kilogram, and straight away then you've gone from, it makes sense. The Fibonacci suddenly looks right, because now stand back and look at it from the draw that you've drawn, and it goes I3, I2, I1, 1, 2, 3. There's no 0, and so it comes down beautifully and just sweeps below the 1 line. And you can just imagine there at the lowest point of the line that you imagine you draw between the two ones, put your 0 there, open it out, put your yin yang there, there's Lewe, and the Fibonacci makes sense. Circle of life, the tree of life, the flower of life, the sacred geometry. It's a cycle, because it's coming from infinity, going to infinity. Infinity is the same place. 2 pi times 10 to the minus 34 seconds is the value of h bar, and it's the proper value of h. We are so out of sync with our Fibonacci spiral. We just need to refocus. Everything is a Fibonacci spiral. It's created from, except our awareness is not. We have to bring our awareness to the wonder of the sacred geometry and who we are, place ourselves there in that vibratory pattern, and suddenly we are raising, we are now part of the Fibonacci spiral by becoming aware of it. And that's what they mean by changing our vibration. It's visualization. So the imaginary unit is real. You are the imaginary unit. You can be whatever you want to be. You can see whatever you want to see. You can place yourself wherever you want to place yourself. Your protein will stay here. You can go wherever you want to. Is that making sense? Welcome to New Earth.